What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Once again, I am Mr. Soul of a Man of So, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to get straight into this thing today. We are talking about the Indigo children. Once again, back by popular demand. So, yesterday we talked about the Indigo children, and so yesterday we talked about the rise of the Indigo children. So today we're talking about the Indigo children and the power within. If you never heard that term, like, wow, what's an Indigo child? What is that? Oh, that sounds amazing. Yes, it is amazing. Like these are kids, are these are people, um, these are people that can just do amazing things spiritually. Their spiritual IQs are just off the charts. And kids are already tapped in. Kids are already tapped in. Their creative minds. Like if you ask any adult who's doing something like a mundane type lifestyle, you say, "Hey, what did you want to do when you were a kid?" And they'll say, "Oh, I had a dream to be blah 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 blah." And they settled into whatever it is that they're doing now. But if you look at these Indigo children or just children in general and how they oh, okay, cool. So if you just look at kids in general and how amazingly special they are at this point in their lives, and you see how incredible they are, because kids are very brutally honest, man. If you ask them a question, they're intuitively gonna give you an answer, because kids they know, especially like if they're around the age of like, 1 or 2, like they're in those initial learning stages, and they're kind of getting a grasp of everything in their environment, so to speak. Like the world hasn't bombarded them with all of the craziness and all of that crap. But Indigo children are naturally on another level. They have this innate power, that they can, if you know a kid and they're like, "Hey, I was just talking to my imaginary friend, Fred." Fred, who know Fred could be. Fred could be a number of things. Fred could be a fairy or an angel or just a spirit or something. Just something that is, I would say, not of this world, so to speak. And kids can already see be beyond the veil. They already tapped in. Naturally. That's just what that is. Kids are already naturally tapped in, and that they can see, they can feel, they can hear. They have a greater understanding. If they're very artistic in a sense, they could probably draw you some pictures. If you ask them, "Hey, well, what does your imaginary friend look like?" And they would draw you it would sometimes it would probably freak you out, because we have this fantasy about how what of naturally what beauty is on this side of things. And every angel or whatever from the other side isn't going to probably be as picturesque as we would want to think, so to speak. But yes, but indigo kids are, they can already astral travel in their dreams. They can. They can already astral travel, in their dreams. And if you are in your later adulthood, or whatever age you are, whatever age you are, and these spiritual gifts, and you might say, well, hey, I've always been able to sense people's emotions, or whatever. You've probably been doing this since you were a kid. Some of us have a tendency to forget because of how we were raised, and and all of these other things. But that this is probably something from when you were like a very, 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 from a very, very young age, and now it's just a continuation of that. Now you just have a you have a better handle. You have a better handle on these things. You have a better you have a better grip. You have a better, understanding of who you were, and naturally who you were, who you were then, and naturally who you are now. It is that reimagining, um, so to speak, like your mind uh, accessing these recessed memories, and you waking back up again, and you being able to take what it is that you can do and take it to take it to a heightened level, so to speak. So yeah, it's and again, it's important to be able to nurture yourself, because knowing that if you are one of these special individuals, to know that you are watching successful, but just to know that you're not alone, that you're not alone in this. You're going to be a person who has a very creative mind, somebody who you're going to think different, and that's okay, because I think different, because I see a lot of stuff. You're able to see the codes, the line of codes, and it's like, if you're if you're if you work in IT, or if you work in with software engineering, if you work with computer coding, you can see the zeros and the ones, and you can just automatically do the math in your mind, and you can instantly make it make sense. If you get my drift on that, you can already naturally make it make sense by seeing the code and um, seeing how things are going in society, and you're like, well, more of this bullshit. Seriously, because I mean, a lot of it is just kind of like monkey see, monkey do. You're like, well, these people don't have a creative bone in their body, because they're only doing what other people are doing, kind of like what you see on these social media, what you see on social media, whatever. But if you are one of these specialized individuals, you can think for yourself. You don't need to watch the news 24 hours a day. You can, there's something that's inside of you that's called your gut, and you can always trust and believe that that's going to that's going to lead you down the right path, so to speak. Now, whether or not you listen to it, hey, that's naturally up to you. Again, you're grown. You do what within reason. You go out and do what you want to do. If you want to call in to work today, you could have done that. Or, if you decide, hey, you know what? I'm going to give this social media thing a run, and do videos and see how that goes for me. It's all in naturally what you make up in your mind to do. But just know that if you are one of these specialized individuals, you got a lot of power. If you're able to, like, if you speak something, how manifestation is very powerful. That's the hip buzzword that all of the kids are using out here nowadays. And if you are one of these individuals, like if you're able to like speak something and it just naturally happens, whatever it is, and pay attention to your dreams, because a lot of stuff sometimes are planted in our subconscious, and you might think like, man, this is interesting. I remember there's something about this seems familiar. Something really and truly about the situation, what I'm going through. It really does naturally feel familiar, and and it's whatever it is, however you want to naturally spin it. But knowing that you have all of this amazing power that is inside of you, that is around you. that continues to give you, gift after gift after gift, almost like saying you have the breath of life in your body, and you know how to call on that breath of life. And that is being a very highly intuitive, specialized, gifted individual. And I will always say, there is nothing that's there. I've always been different all my life, and I had to take ownership of that. I did, and I struggled with it for a long time, high school and adulthood, on jobs, and all of this stuff, because I could just see the nonsense coming. I could tell these, working in jobs, I could tell these managers were liars and all of these other things. And it's just a dog and pony show. And that's what it was. But, hey, we play the game and we get our checks and we move on and we live our lives. And that's just naturally how that goes. But if you are, use what you have to the betterment of your to help you in your life, man. To call forth all of the great things that you naturally need, and that how you naturally how you naturally perceive things, it may come out like that. So it's just um, if you like weigh yourself on a scale and you're like, I don't like these numbers, and you start working out, you lose some weight, and those numbers drop. So it's almost like that. It's just working. It's working your mind, working that subconscious. It's shifting, shifting those numbers in your favor. People can do this by, I've heard people going into casinos and being able to, you know, speak over the blackjack table or like the crap table or whatever it is, and use that power of persuasion. There's a lot of tricky things that you can do, out here. And these are, and we're not even getting into the things that you can do with, like, crystals and herbs and all that stuff. These are just natural gifts and abilities that you have, because we know, like, the body is made up of a higher percentage of water, and man, just with that, you can do so much. But I do have a class about that. If you'd like to learn more about your spiritual gifts, you can email me or send me a message on, TikTok or social media, and all of that good stuff. I'll teach you how to get a grip on your spiritual gifts, and I'll help you to make it make sense. Yeah. So, but if you are somebody who's enlightened and you have a child that's coming up, and you feel like, man, something different about little, Emily, or I don't know, or little Michael, just something very differently. Somebody said, like, man, that's something, that child is a little odd, but not in a bad way. It's just that their curiosity of life, it's just like they just have this fire within them, and you just want to continue to you definitely want to continue to keep that fire burning, and just continue to keep that fire growing. And also, you always want to show yourself the love that you naturally deserve, just by, and this journey is sometimes it can get lonely, man. It can, because it helps you to see the realness, especially in people and situations. And you can tell real quick when something is just not for you, and if certain people should not be around you, family, friends, co-workers, or whatever. And they're like, well, wow, what's wrong with such and such? Why are they, why are they so distant? Why are they, why aren't they coming around anymore? Because they know they're not stupid. They could, like, man, like how many jobs I've worked in. I was like, wow, if I left here today or tomorrow, I'm never gonna see or talk to these people ever again. And it's always come to pass. It's always come to pass. Seriously. So I don't have time to, just like a lot of us, we try to clean up our credit scores, and somebody, you may have like A plus plus, whatever your credit score is, 8 million. I'm just throwing it out there. But you have a great credit score. Somebody comes along and says like, "Hey, I need you to come and sign for this house or this new car," and you don't know them from Adam. You may know them a little bit. It's like, listen, everything is in me is telling me that, and you're just calling me out of the blue. I never hear from you or anything like that. My birthday was last week. Where were you? I'm just saying. But something innate, something inside of you is always that spiritual transformative intelligence. It's always going to tell you that, nah, this isn't it. Nah, it wasn't it. Nah, I'm good. But you're able to move forward, man. You're just able to do just amazing, just this amazing things. Do I get it right all the time? I do not. I'm still, as much as I come on here and talk to people and all of that. I'm still learning. That's the beautiful part about it. And whatever it is that you do, you're always gonna continue to learn. But in this next year, people like me, you're gonna need us. Let me say, people who have good hearts, and there are people out here that were indigo children from the start, and they never stop. They never stop, and they are vastly capable. A lot of these people, you're probably not going to find, like, the people who really, really, really do this, and I mean really do this. Like, you would have to, like, these people who are like on the back roads of Kentucky and Mississippi and Alabama and Louisiana. You have to go. Go up the street, turn right by the oak tree, go down Moss Lane, and 2 miles down, and where the crow flies, and you'll see Miss Ernestine. Go talk to her. She can help you, with whatever questions or herbal remedies. And I mean that there are people who really do this, and the stuff has been passed down from generation to generation, but they're in secret. If you know them, you are very blessed. You are very, very, very blessed, because these people, they don't care about the fame. They don't care about social media numbers. They don't care about any of that stuff. They do what they do because they can, and because they want to, and because they are vastly capable at doing it. Me, I didn't. I had somebody to help me with like tarot in the beginning, but and I grew up in a church, and that was cool. But as far as learning about my spiritual gifts and what I could do with it, I had to rely really, like my ancestors and my angel guides, just who was ever there for me to help me to craft and understand these things, to kind of help me to crack the egg open, and learn how to fry the pan and all that stuff. So, I was hold on. This yeah. Cool. All right, so yeah, back. I'm sorry, I just had to block some food. But anyway, so yeah, so for me, I had to figure this out, man. And um, I've always, even though I'm at the age I'm at now, I've always been, people say, hey, you're an old soul, but I have the heart, I have, what is that thing people say? Old soul, but I have I'm a kid at heart. There you go. Yeah, I'm a kid at heart. That's what that is. That's why I write children's books, and I'm into comic books, and so to me, it's like being a part of the X-Men and all of that stuff, and I get the, I get how natural, people in society who just kind of go with the status quo, you know, they don't deal with anything spiritual, probably maybe been in church or mass once in their life, and you know, and that's it. That's just who they are. That's what that is. But for me, and for people like me, it goes so much profoundly deeper, than that. And a lot of it is, it's like if you're if you're in class and you're, let's say you're in biology class, you have to dissect a frog, and it's just you and the frog, and there's just certain things you have to do with it, certain things you have to remember, and you have to talk your way through it, in a sense. And that's the same thing for me. It's like I have to. It's so much. It is like it is so much. It's almost like somebody saying like, okay, you see that river over there? I need you to count all of the water in that river. Mathematically, you probably could do that. If you do the equations and you could give the weight and all of that stuff. But to give them a number of every drop of water, like seriously, But that's, man, people talk about like clairvoyance, clairsentience, all of it. The lady named Claire, I never met her. I'm sure she's a cool chick, but for me, you're some people have gifts that you just don't even that you just don't have a name for, and they just do stuff, and it's almost like some people come out of the spiritual closet, so to speak, and there are those people like that. If you saw the Doctor Strange movie, I think it was the first one, there was a guy. I think something was wrong with his spine, and he learned so much from the Ancient One that he was able to just live a normal life. So he just took what he learned and he just went off and he just lived a normal life. And some people do that. Like they just, they can do certain things, but they just use it, in their everyday lives, and they just don't speak about it. And that's just naturally what that is, man. But I'm just saying that that power is of those old He-Man cartoons. He said, blah blah power of grade school. I have a power. Just like that. It's like those old He-Man cartoons, where you just have this where you just naturally have this power. But the thing is, it's like the crescendo. It's the build up to it. It's the build up, and it's having like this. It's having this childlike innocence to be able to play around with it. Not anything dark, not like you're throwing anything at anybody, but it's like somebody gives a puppy a ball, and the ball makes a little ringing noise, and the puppy plays with it all day. It's like that. I'm not saying y'all are puppies, but you kind of understand what I'm saying. But it's like that power. I'll tell you. You know what? I'll say that story for. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that story. I gotta remember. But the it's just amazing, man. That all of the beautiful things that spiritually that you can do, and if you're going through something um, that they people call, what do they call it? I say the dark night of the soul, because going through the spiritual stuff, you will have to deal with, it's like the yin and the yang, the light and the dark. Dark uh, light comes from dark and all that stuff. But um, to be able to like master it, to me it's like how people surf, and they're able to just have the balance of the board and the body with the waves, and they're just moving, they're just flowing, and they're just moving. It's like that. it's like you're flowing. It's almost like when some of you, if you've ever seen somebody, it's like martial arts. It's like the strike, and it's like it's like the block, and it's all of these moves that you can, all of these moves that you can do, whatever style it is. It's like you don't have to think. Like if something happens, it's automatic. It's there. You can just you call on it. That's just what it is. Yeah, I remember martial arts master told me a long time ago, you should be able to, whatever your art form is, you should be able to do it anywhere. You should be able to practice it anywhere. And he said that there is no such thing as practice doesn't make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. So you can practice something wrong, and you and you could just continue to do it wrong, and that's until it's almost like being in one of these karmic cycles. You keep going around and around and around until you learn the lesson. It's like somebody was to come on and they would say, well, I'm going through these bad relationships, and I keep getting I keep meeting the same people or person, or the same kind of person, and it's going nowhere fast. What's going on? And it's a karmic lesson. It's something about them that's either drawing these people in, or they're making that choice. Something inside of them isn't saying that I'm better than this, I'm more deserving of this. And once they do that, they break the loop, they break the cycle. It's what else do they call it? Man, but I don't know. I can't think of the word right now. But it's generational curses, in a sense, something that plagues the family until maybe you come along and you break it. You break that. You break that cycle. And if you're watching, please subscribe to my if you're on wherever you're watching me, just subscribe and thank you. And give me some hearts, ladies and gentlemen, so we can just keep this thing going. But yeah, so they initially break the cycle. Is it easy? No. There was nothing easy about there was that when people see you earning what you're supposed to be earning in this world, and you've gone, you slayed the dragons and rescued the princess from the whatever, and they wonder how you, well, man, how were you able to, blah blah blah. Look, I've earned every penny and then nickel and dime of this, so you do not have the right to question me. And I am, I'll just tell you, I am not, not going to give this to you for free, because I had to go through a lot, and everything that you go through, for me to coherently sit here and y'all don't know me, I don't know y'all, and thank y'all for watching, but people who have these gifts, sometimes these people are heard stories of people being committed, or people being put in insane asylums and all of that stuff. But but I was going back to say, if you have this, if you deal with mental illness, reach out to someone who can help you. You can't afford that. I mean, there's meditation, there's there's all of these holistic things that you can do to help to get yourself out of this nightmare of what it is that you're possibly seeing. Okay. Nope. But yeah, so can I give myself hearts? No, I can't. But don't they always break the system? But anyway, I'm just thinking, especially on TikTok, man, it's just not easy to get to 1,000. So it's like there's always this thing. It's like you need to, on YouTube, you need 1,000. It's always like 1,000. You need 1,000 people to go, to be monetized, and blah blah blah. And it's like, man, it's not impossible. But I'm just saying, it is a journey, just like this. Let me scoop up some. Just like this is a journey, just like this. I can say I'm a journeyman, and I'm going to continue to travel and learn and, do my part out here to, of course, I'm going to get mine. Yeah, man, that's just what it is. And with that said, if you would like to book a reading with yours truly, go to the link in my bio, my LinkedIn profile, and, you can just go to my, where my spiritual services, and you can you can book a spiritual consultation, as I like to call it. Yes. So I like to be known as a man of business. But anyway, so yeah, so you can book your spiritual consultations. And once this is over on, I'll come back and we're gonna do some palm readings on today though. So yeah, so stick around. But if you're watching me on what is it, like Facebook or YouTube, if y'all wanna jump on, that song Christina Aguilera say, come on over. I know I am not a singer. Nope, I do not. I can write, I can, but the singing, no, I never. I didn't get that gift, man. I didn't. I know people who had it, and it's like it's always that one thing. It's like, wow, that person can dance, man. I wish I could move like that. Man, that person could sing. Like, boy, if I could do that, blah 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 blah. But listen, I roll with what I have, and I am happy. I am happy. I am extremely happy with that. Whew, what time is it? Yeah, but it's been about 30 minutes, so I'm gonna go ahead on it. Yeah, but again, folks, please subscribe. I'm gonna take a quick break, and I will definitely be back. I'm gonna say black. I am black, but I will be back, ladies and gentlemen, and we will do some palm readings. We will bring we'll bring people on live if they are they can go one on one with the great one. But no, I'm kidding, folks. I'm kidding. But they can, you can come on and it'll be, like some mini stuff. We'll, get straight to whatever it is, and then we'll move on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, but I am Mr. Soul of a Man 504, aka the Money. But you can purchase my books at my website at www.soulofaman504.com, ladies and gentlemen. But you can find all that stuff under my link tree in my bio. Check out all about me. Go to my website, buy a book, all that good stuff. But I'll be back on here tomorrow to talk about, I'm not sure, but we'll figure it out. But as always, ladies and gentlemen, I am Mr. Soul of the Man.